The United Auto Workers Union is taking the final tally of strike authorization vote today. The union said negotiations for new labor agreements with General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis have not progressed. Its contract with Detroit's Big Three expires in 3 weeks. So Nora Eckert is an auto industry reporter for the Wall Street Journal, and she's joining us now to talk about just where things stand right now. And, you know, Omar, the thing about this period of time for the auto industry is it's a pivot point, right? Are they going to move into electric vehicles? And are the unions going to end up with a contract for cars that were built 30 years ago, or the contract, or the cars that are going to be built 30 years in the future, right? So I think that's part of the problem, Nora. What are you hearing from union members about their support for a strike?
Yeah, so I was at a practice picket yesterday, which is basically where union members get out and prepare for what a real strike would look like. And people are definitely fired up. Workers have been building up this sense of, of mistrust in the companies after working through COVID and working long hours. And a lot of them say, you know, we've given so much of our lives to the companies, and it's time to see some return there. So most of the folks I've talked to have said we're very ready for a strike. And a lot of this has to do with the new UAW president, Shawn Fain, who was recently elected by the members, the first direct election in decades for the union. And Shawn has said that these companies owe us a fair contract after the record profits they've seen. So there's been a lot more rhetoric around a strike. But I will say, Shawn has said the goal is not to strike. Of course, the union and the companies would both, and the president, who would all like to avoid an auto strike if they can. But it's looking more and more like one is coming September 14th, 11:59 p.m., when that contract expires. In fact, Shawn said yesterday, you're going to see this real thing if the companies don't shape up.
Well, Nora, what's on the list of the union's demands, and are they close on anything with the Big Three?
Yeah, so there's a list of pretty ambitious demands on the union side, which, of course, coming in early in negotiations, you're going to see more ambitious demands from both sides. But those include a 46% pay increase over the life of the contract, which sounds pretty big, but actually compared to what we've seen with UPS workers and some pilots, airline companies during these negotiations, it's on par with what a lot of folks in the labor industry have received in recent rounds of talks. Also, retirees are a huge focus of this round of negotiations. So increased pay and benefits increased benefits across the board for retirees is a big focus. There's also this renewed emphasis on work-life balance, which has always been a theme for the union, but has become very, very pronounced under Shawn Fain. So he has asked for a 32-hour work week at 40-hour pay, something that the union hasn't really talked about since the 1940s. And that's been very popular with workers who say we've had to work nonstop during COVID, we have to work overtime, and we haven't seen our families. And as you mentioned at the start, the big theme across these negotiations is the transition into producing electric vehicles. And there's a lot of questions around job security with this whole transition. So many folks in the union are working at plants that produce gas engine vehicles, and there's a question around how many of those jobs can be preserved as the industry makes this transition. So the union is fighting for a lot right now.
And then you got the Big Three. And as I understand it, usually the way these negotiations work is they sort of target or zero in on one auto company, negotiate with them, and then once they hammer out a great deal, then they can kind of use that to pressure the other companies. But in this case, they're going after sort of negotiating with all three at the same time. So these Big Three are having to invest in electric vehicles, and then also negotiate about, you know, competitive wages and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure part of what the pushback is, hey, we don't have all that money right now. But what are we hearing from the Big Three?
Yeah, and like you said, the whole system of choosing one target company and then that acting as the template for the other two companies, that seems to have been thrown out. So Shawn Fain, the union president, is keeping everyone on their toes. The strategy there, he said, is we don't want to take the pressure off of any one company. So in the past, if, for example, like in the last round, GM was the target, his argument is, you know, Ford and now Stellantis were able to kind of sit back and wait to see what happened with GM. he's trying to hammer out the best deal possible. So he's trying to keep the pressure on all three companies at once. So there's been some varying levels of responses from each of the three companies about how talks are progressing and about the union's demands. So GM has said that the full list of demands, if they were, successful, would really financially hit the company and potentially affect its ability to support its teams in the future, it said. Stellantis has responded to some of Sean Fain's actions, particularly him throwing their proposals in the trash can, saying that's where they deserve to be. They've said that that's theater and that it's time to get serious about talks. And of course, the union has said that they are getting serious about talks and responding accordingly to the demands. The tone from Ford has been a little different. Historically, Ford has had a little closer relationship with the UAW, mainly and largely because it's a family company and employs more hourly workers. So a little more muted response we're seeing from that end. But the overall criticism is this EV transition is extremely expensive, and we're trying to stay competitive with Tesla and foreign competitors who have hourly labor costs that are, in some cases, $10 lower than what we're seeing at GM, Ford, and Stellantis. Of course, the union is saying back to that, your labor costs are a fraction of this pie, and you can afford to pay us more than you are.
There's a lot to keep a track of there, and we know you'll be on it. Nora Eckert, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.